I think there's a lot of mediocrity in today's NFL. Yeah. I don't see the excellence that I saw in the past.
Why not? Why not?
I think the coaching isn't as good as it was. I don't think the development of young players is as good as it was. The rules have allowed a lot of bad habits to get into the actual performance of the game. Mm-hmm. So I just think the product, in my opinion, is less than what it's been. I look at a lot of players like Ray Lewis and Rodney Harrison and Ronnie Lott and guys that impacted the game in a certain way, and every hit they would have made would have been a penalty. You hear coaches complaining about their own player being tackled and not necessarily, why don't they talk to their player about how to protect himself? We used to work on the fundamentals of those things all the time. Now they're trying to be regulated all the time. Offensive players need to protect themselves. It's not up to the defensive player to protect the offensive player. A defensive player needs to protect himself. I didn't throw the ball to certain areas because I was afraid players were going to get knocked out. Mm-hmm. That's the reality. Wow. I didn't throw it to the middle when I played Ray Lewis because you knock him out of the game, and I couldn't afford to lose a good player.
Nailed it.
He looks tremendous.
He does.
Even for him.
Yeah.
Like the year away from football, if it's going to be a year away from football, I still haven't closed the door. But the tan, the skin, he looks incredible. Yeah. That was a hell of a point that he made about just I wouldn't throw it to the middle of the field because Ray Lewis would knock my player out of the game.
He's comparing like some of the best safeties of all time, top 5 linebacker of all. Like, yeah, not most players aren't those guys.
Well, let's examine certain portions of this because I want to say what the hell is he talking about. However, clearly, vastly more expertise. Clearly, than anyone listening to this about what it is that he is watching.
Than anybody in the history of civilization.
And a longevity to play through several eras of the NFL to actually give you that firsthand experience.
But he sounds like every old player who has retired from the game complaining about how it was better than in my day.
We did the fundamentals. Like, we taught guys how to not get concussions.
It also ignores when he says, well, we'll legislate it now, that all of the rules changed the moment he got hurt. Like they changed the rules when he was the one who was injured. So what he's complaining about is something that was legislated by the league in order to protect him above all others.
To keep him healthy, yes.
Have you guys missed him this year? Because yes. I think when you're watching the NFL, you're just excited for football. But a lot has been made about the primetime unders, and another one cashed last night. And I have a whole theory that we're getting a lot of primetime unders and a lot of bad primetime games specifically because he's not in the league right now, occupying a lot of that prime real estate. I miss him a lot. I don't necessarily miss him in Tampa. Baker Mayfield's been fun. I just miss him in the NFL, making games feel like an event and scoring and rising to the occasion. I miss Tom Brady.
He's acting, though, as if he didn't play during that Brock Osweiler year I was complaining about. Like, I don't watch today's NFL and think the things that he thought there. I don't think I'm watching a mediocre product. I think I'm watching the product at the very height of human athleticism and precision that is also trying to navigate and legislate its way around the labyrinth of all of these people are going to be hurt because it's beyond dangerous what you're watching. It's not sustainable to keep human beings healthy for an entire season. Like it's not, maybe you've got an assortment of tough guys who can play through everything, but Travis Kelce is now being quoted, Stugotz, who doesn't miss very many games, as saying, you have no idea how much I think about retiring. I'm spending a lot of time thinking about retiring because my body hurts so much.
Mm-hmm. Started dating a billionaire. I'd be thinking about the end too, a little bit. We tried scooping up reasons as to why the Chiefs' offense isn't as good, and we're blaming the receivers, and you're accurate to point out, well, they had very similar receivers last year. No one wants to just admit that. Defenses are better. All the defenses have been built over these last few years to stop what they're seeing in Kansas City because it's a cheat code. It damn near gets you into the Super Bowl every year. They're built to stop the read option as they were when Kaepernick was destroying the league with the Niners, and now the Eagles are trying to do it. Like, you can only dominate for so long. Tom Brady is the only person that knows what it's like to dominate throughout eras. And he went up against these brilliant players that were just designed to knock people out because that was the only way that you can that's the only way that you can stop this guy. It's a great era for defense, and that is not sexy. Not nearly as sexy as him.
He does look great. And
fantastic.
You're not joking when you say getting the football off of him has probably refreshed him because I don't think we understand
and filler.
All of that brutality.
But look at the difference between this clip, how good he looks, and that Ring video doorbell of Bill Belichick leaving that place in Worcester. Like, look what the separation has done to both of these individuals.
Good audio.
Jalen Hurts is now Stugotz 23-2.
Winner.
As the starter for Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm. Do it in the Super Bowl.
Well,
he did. He was the best player in the Super Bowl. He's a winner, Dan, but do it in the Super Bowl. You got to cap it off. This is the best chance guys like Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Tua, they've ever had of winning a Super Bowl. Why? Because Mahomes is not as good as he used to be. That offense is not as good as it used to be. Burrow's out. Rodgers is out. They all have opportunities here. Go get it, Jalen Hurts.
What?